Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us this morning. At 9 o'clock a.m., we will close our social media and continue on Zoom only. Join us by getting your Zoom link at elizabethvisionaryconference.org. We'll be there until 10 a.m. You can join us now, and we'll see you in the Elizabeth Zoom room. Today, your hosts are Nawili Griffin, Lillie B., and Ayana Blair. Enjoy.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
Great day, great day. Beautiful day. And
Happy Thursday, beautiful people.
Are you ready for that song now?
yes, we is.
Okay. Let me see here. Did. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here all about as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator.
What happened to the music?
Technical difficulties.
Yes.
As you show me all that I must do. All that I'm saying is, command my hand. Command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all
Wow. That was yummy. That was delicious. Thank you. Thank you, Queen Aduni. Thank you, Reverend Ruth, for sharing what one of your favorite songs is so that we could share it with everyone. And so I greet you from the team of Run this morning. I'm Nawili. Ayana is on the call. Lillie B is here. And we're just in the light of Thursday, our expansion day, moved by Jupiter. And we're just inviting you, come on in, and knowing that we're asking the question, are you in? But we already know you're in if you're on the call or with God. And we're sending the vibration out. So just know it. Ayana, would you like to take it from here and say something?
I say Grand Rising.
Can you come on screen, please?
Not yet. I'm sorry. One second. I'm prepared. But I would love to say welcome again, Miss Ruth. It's so nice to have you on. I appreciate you for being here this morning and rising with us and sharing with us. That was a lovely song, something to brighten up this early rising here. And I just need a minute to take that in. I'm going to take that in. And I would love to do some breathing exercises. Because, seeing as how I'm with child, I need to practice as much as I can with my breathing, of course. And just a shade to today.
I love it. A shade to today. I love that. And Lillie B, would you like to chime in before we do some breath work? And
Hi, beautiful people. Hello, how's everybody doing? Good. It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. Hi, Reverend Ruth. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. It's a beautiful day. We are happy to have you. Sorry, I'm trying to stay off. My nose is bleeding and stuff a little bit. But it's a beautiful day and we are happy to have you. Can't wait to hear some of the juicy, beautiful treats you have for us, to drop some knowledge and all the good stuff that come along with it. And hello, everybody. Hi, happy Thursday, all my beautiful Elizabeth.
Good morning.
All righty.
All right.
So we're going to start off with a breath meditation. Wow. So the breath meditation we're going to do today is called Sitali. Sitali pranayama is a cooling breath. And for women, all of us, always balancing so many things in our lives, internally and externally. This breath always will just chill you out. And so I ask you to come into a comfortable position, either sitting, lying, standing on your head, whatever is most comfortable. I'm open. If you're sitting, either palms are up. Receptivity is the mode. When the palms are up, you want to put them down. You're feeling like some groundedness is needed, place them downward. So I choose up today. And closing our eyes, we're going to focus between our eyebrows at our third eye, our place of intuitive wisdom, knowledge that we focus during meditation and focus. And so the breath will be through the open mouth. And you're going to stick your tongue out. And we're going to breathe, curl your tongue. We're going to inhale, breathe in through your curled tongue. And breathe out. So as the air goes past that tongue, it's very cool, very relaxing, very balancing. And I'm using my internal timer in my head. And we're just affirming and knowing that we are open, we are receptive. And especially we are open to that divine place where we say and we accept, we give ourselves permission to be used. Does not imply abuse, but we know when the divine drops its morsels, its food, its nurturing into us, that we are always in our right place, doing our right and perfect thing. Let's inhale to begin. Take nice, long, and deep breaths as you inhale. Nice, long, deep breaths as you exhale. Like expel all of that out of the lungs. Giving thanks for what has been used and giving thanks for what is taken in. Make this your last round, inhaling. And exhale. And inhale through your nostrils. And exhale. Let's inhale, stretch your arms up over your head. Great stretch, open, close the hands. And exhale, release it, shake it out. All right, I hope that served you in some way.
It felt great.
Oh, I feel like I got a facelift. So, let me see. So I would like to go in and share my story about how Reverend Ruth and I met. Our paths have always, I say throughout eternity, our paths have crossed. But in the real, in Los Angeles, I've heard of the Lemon Tree, which was her salon. I had seen her, I'm sure, in her beauty and her femininity, just rushing about and moving about town. But one thing that comes to mind is I lived right in the neighborhood of one of the locations of her salon, which was on La Brea Avenue. And I actually lived like walking distance from there. And I remember walking down the street one day and I saw these ladies outside and it had this really good energy. So I was kind of peeking in and I'm pretty sure I went in and we connected and somehow we knew that we knew each other in that space and that place. And I just remember in the busyness that can be in a salon, that there was just a vibe in there that was just very goddess, very we doing more than slinging hair in here. We're doing some very beautiful soul work, and Reverend Ruth has always just been one of my favorites. She's such a light. She's such a loving being. She shows up and shows out for the divine every time. Even on her, probably not her grooviest days, she will show up and show out and speak a word in honor of all that is good, all that is God, all that is holy, all that is sacred. And so I'm so glad that I can articulate this today in this way. That's growth. And because I just want to say, wow, she walks on water like we all do. So I'm just, grateful that I can reach out to her, and I'll probably see her tomorrow when I'm in LA. So I'm really excited. So without further ado, I'm gonna let her speak, introduce, give us some nourishment for this AM. I love you.
Thank you so much. Can everybody hear me? Is my audio on?
Yeah, you're perfect.
Good morning, young ladies.
Absolutely.
Good morning. Grand rising.
Grand rising to you. I was up at 4 a.m. because I said last time I was a few minutes late, so this time I was going to be on point. And I'm so happy. I got the call from Nawili and she said, Reverend Ruth, would you like to be on Thursday? And I said, wow, okay. I had a lot going on. I'm taking care of my 98-year-old mother, who is fabulous. But there were some things that I had to do with her. But I'm so thankful and grateful for this opportunity. I never know what Spirit is going to give me to say. And after I talked with Nawili, I said, I need something that will not only resonate for me, but for each one of the ladies who chose to hear my voice this morning. And I thank you so much for lending your third ear as you hear me. This morning, as I got up and prepared myself, this movie came to mind. And I teach, and I really will tell you, I use books and movies and all kinds of things to get prepared for whatever I'm going to talk about. But this morning, this movie came to me, and it was about a little boy riding on a big white dog, and the name of the movie was The Never Ending Story. I like to teach from the root chakra, but what I know is that the root chakra is a never-ending story. They say that we operate and live out of our history. And what I've learned is that every day we are creating history. So it is a never-ending story. As you close your eyes, you breathe, and you open your eyes again, you are creating new history and a never-ending story. So I thought about, what is our story? And our story is the things that we choose to do in our daily lives, whether it's acknowledging a person sitting on the curb, or the person that you wake up with in the morning, your children, people that you pass on the street, because each person that we interact with every day, we create a history with that person through the choices that we make in the way that we greet them, in the way that we look at them, in the way that we respect them. And we realize that each one of these people has shown up so that we can create a greater day for ourselves, that our history of that day will start when we talk to that person, because remembering that we are always only talking to ourselves. The conversations that we choose to share are the things that we say when we brightly say, good morning, or if we turn our head and we have a thought that says, they're not good enough, they're not who I am. It's creating a history of thought that will cremate out all over the world, and each person will receive something for it. So this morning when I got up, my never ending story is that I'm so thankful and grateful that I have the opportunity to be awake and to see women that I don't see on a daily basis. I've never met before, but I feel a sisterhood with. I realize that we are all walking the same path and that we are sharing information in the way that God gives it to each and every one of us every day, as we realize that we are truly teachers, healers, receivers, givers. And every day we have a choice, which is the most wonderful thing, that we can choose each day what we will create. So that we realize that as we wake up in the morning, if it looks like lack, there is no lack, because in that moment, in that thought, we create prosperity and abundance. We realize that if we think that we're not feeling well, within the next breath, we can change that and say, my, how wonderful it is, how wonderful I feel this morning. I woke up, I opened my eyes. This is a wonderful, wonderful day. If we don't have food, we know that we can walk out and go in somebody's backyard and get an apple or orange off a tree. But God is showing us prosperity constantly, every day, in this never-ending story. So that as you meet the next person this morning after this session of Grand Rising, you will say, wow, what a wonderful day. And you create the history of telling them about what your thoughts and ideas were this morning as we sat and chatted and had this conversation. I think that it's a blessing to know this, because that way we realize that we are forever healthy, that we are every day prosperous, that every day all of our needs are met, because we only live in this history of this moment. And so right now I'm looking around and I'm recognizing, look at all the wealth that I have around me, that I'm surrounded with, the wealth of even knowing and talking to you ladies this morning. It's truly a blessing when you can breathe as Nawili had us breathe, and renew the interior of our bodies so that the reflection of our smile is in that breath. We have the opportunity to change the world. When we see a small child and we say, good morning, how you doing this morning? You happy? Come here, let me tell you something. Let me give you a hug. Or if they don't come that close, you give them a smile and a wink. Or as your neighbor walks down the street with their dog and you don't know them, but you give them a smile. You've created some history that they can carry with them, because that smile could be the smile that changed their life. We are so gifted that sometimes we forget how gifted we really are. And I get shivers as I think about, wow, what a blessing that God gave me this gift. That every day, every way, I can shift and change not only myself, but I am a part of everything that goes on in this world. And so as I think about the violence that goes on in wars, which we know is man-created, I know that in a thought, I am shifting and changing that. So each day it gets smaller and smaller and returns to the greatness that we know God is, so that we can see it. I know that there is no inflation or not enough money in this country, because we have the opportunity to live in one of the richest nations in the world. I know that through the idea of God, that everything recreates itself, and so there is absolutely no lack on the planet. I know that as I take this breath right now, that I have just shifted and changed something in my life and yours. The opportunity of waking up every morning and opening my eyes and saying good morning, even to myself, is a gift. And I know that I am that never-ending story of God, that each day I create and write a new book, that each day the words that come to my mouth are not only healing for myself, but for anyone that I touch. Because as I give it to myself, I give it to the world. I had the opportunity to see that young boy on his dog as he rode through the clouds in this never-ending story. And I realized that that was my gift. And so whatever your work is, whether it's as a healer, as an herbalist, as a massage therapist, whatever you do, remember that every single day, in every way, every time you choose to touch, feel, or talk to even the birds in the sky, you're changing the world and creating a never-ending story. We are clearing and cleansing our root chakras so that we no longer live in the history of the past. We live in the history of this day. This day is the only day that we have in this moment that can change the world. I'm grateful that I learned that and that I heard that this morning when I asked God, what shall I talk to the sisters about this morning? Because I realized that not only am I sharing my story with you, I'm sharing it with myself. I'm empowering myself. I'm making myself healthier. I'm making myself more prosperous. I'm allowing my day to be so fabulously wonderful. And I realize that as I look at you, the same gift is yours. The fact that you got up this morning and we crossed paths started you on a new road of prosperity, health, of beauty. And as you leave out today, or even in the moment that you talk to your family in the same house with you, you're creating a new history. What will that history be? What will you choose this day? How can God use us? How can he use our hands? How can he use our voice? How can he use our spirit? It is all choice. And every time I teach a class, I teach chakra healing because I want people to understand the chakras already healed. Speak your word. Let go of the past. Move into the highest consciousness of the crown chakra. The all-knowingness, the voice that speaks each day and tells you what path to take, what words to say. And when you think you don't know, take a breath, breathe in and deep, and allowing yourself to be in that moment and become that never-ending story. Thank you for letting me speak this morning. That's all God gave me. But I know there's always more. So choose this day to serve, to love, and to be, and to know that we are that never-ending story of God, that we are co-creators, and that we have the power to shift and change the universe. Thank you, ladies.
Sure.
Okay, so of course, I was like hetero. I'm writing down, taking my note. But I'll allow anyone who would like to share or comment at this time before I pose a couple of questions that are burning in my soul.
Reverend Ruth, I love what you said that every little thing that we do, when we like something's coming up and you can, in that moment, you can shift that energy to be positive, to be helpful. And the profound part was that just that little moment of what I do will affect the entire universe.
Yes.
So things are always shifting in our lives. Always. I don't know what the person thought. I mean, to make it even clearer, somebody could, how maybe you need something, and then somebody way on the other side of the world says, I think I want to give something to somebody. I'm just going to choose somebody out of the telephone book and choose my name. Don't even know me. And my life has just shifted. The telephone rings and my life has shifted with someone I know nothing of. And so that is, even in the whole universe, that can happen. We don't know who's on Mars. We don't know, the whole world. But everything that we do impacts everybody
Everything.
and
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm.
It gives you a different perspective of what we are doing and make us more responsible for our impact on the universe.
Mm.
You know, Nawili, when we close our yoga sessions, we do, there's 3 mantras that we say. One is, you know, peace, love, and joy. And the last one, we say, you know, to the left and to the right and to the up and down and all of that. But at the end, and it says the universe. So it's not just, you know, for all, but the universe is not just for me, but the universe, and
Mhm.
how that, you know, if we think more about the actions that we do and the thoughts that we think, and know that it's more than just Sheila, it's more than just Queen Aduni, it's more than just this household, but we send that energy out to the universe,
That's
and we
right.
don't know how that's going to impact the little baby in Africa. We don't know that if I make that choice to do what I'm supposed to do here in this world, that it impacts the universe. That was sweet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, as Queen Aduni was speaking, what came to mind is just she and her beloved, the music that they are putting. Serious chill bumps. The music that they are putting out into the universe that's beyond our imagination. I mean, because I'm saying that because this is actually the first time I got to see her perform, and to hear them live, I guess. And it just put me in a zone and a space of just not only in that pub or setting we were in, but how those sound waves and the message and the intention behind them were just like going everywhere in every nook and cranny and corner of the universe. And so I want to thank you personally, Aduni, and to Philip for that gift that you guys are so lovingly sharing with the universe. It's amazing, and like we're gonna see tomorrow, how amazing sound healing is. It's beyond. I think I've shared with a couple of people. My massage therapist puts the sound bowls up and down my left front and up and down my spine when she massages, because we discovered that my body absorbs, loves, and that the sound and that healing is activated through those sound bowls on my body. So yeah, thank you so much for that, and appreciate it.
Okay. Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. Anyone else? Mama, Miss Evelyn, would you like to share? She looks like a little angel there, always with her head covered. She has this like little countenance. It's like, ooh. You're still muted. I think I see your lips moving.
Yeah, because sometimes there's background noises that
Oh, okay.
cat may
Okay.
come in or anything. So
No worries.
I'm grateful for every day that I'm here with you ladies. Every day. It has changed my life the past few weeks. Sitting here drinking my tea, I feel, instead of getting up dragging, I feel energized. I feel I wake up and I have, I feel like I can accomplish what I set out to do. And when I do accomplish it, I feel I did that, like I walked up to the bank yesterday. I was afraid of the stray dogs, but no dogs came out. Or they get there too late. So Um, so I was able to walk up there and walk back. And I'm finding myself, and I was able to come back and cook dinner. Cause usually, you know, that walk, I'm like, oh, I'm tired and that's it for the day. Oh, no, I was able to cook dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, so, and I'm just grateful for everything now, just everything that I everything.
Yeah.
Just, I'm seeing, I'm beginning to let my light shine even more. That's the way I feel.
Wonderful. Yeah, I want to throw this in there along with your share, Mama Evelyn, because I had shared that I was downtown hanging out with Mama Hip, right, dancing and all that stuff, and then I didn't want to bother the people to take me home, so I walked from downtown, and when I got to a point that I was getting tired. And this is in reference to being with each other and learning and knowing each other and stuff. So I didn't say, what would Jesus do? I said, what would Nawili do? She would keep walking, you know, and so I just pumped it up and kept walking. So our influence with one another is infectious. You know, when I think of certain things, when I really want to express myself like crazy, then I think of Mama Health, because she's gonna go all up and down and stuff. So us being together is it's so valuable, you know, and helpful. So I get you, Mama Evelyn. You know, you'd be out there and say, whoa, I walked it and then I walked it back. Yeah, it's that what we share. We don't even know that our being, the way we're being, is infectious to other people. You know, they look at that and we don't know who we are blessing. We don't know who we are being an example to. So yeah.
You know
Yeah, I
what?
never thought, you know, we're going into, you see, we started this July, I'm sorry, April, the last week in April, May, June, July, we about to go into August. We got 3 months in doing this and I ain't tired yet.
Well, I'd like to say that one of the things I've learned is that even when you're walking, you know, you can shift tired to breath, because everything is absolutely done off of the breath. And so even when you're walking and you feel that tiredness coming, or even if you have dogs around, Miss Evelyn, you have the power to send those dogs away. You've got to remember that we are extremely powerful beings. If the universe, if the people who are in charge opened up the door and allowed us to know the power that we have, a lot of things that occur would never occur. But they keep us numbed out by using all of these tools of telephones and televisions and distractions so that we forget to empower ourselves. And what I've learned as I live this life is that every time there appears to be an obstacle, I take a breath, because I know that within that breath, as I breathe, the shift and the change of what I need to do, the idea of what I need in that moment shows up. It's like you wake up in the morning and you have no money, and you wash your clothes and put them in the dryer, and all of a sudden you see all this money moving around in the dryer, and you say, well, what pair of pants did I have that in? You've had things that show up. We get little tips all the time of things that show up that tell us everything is fine, everything is wonderful. And so we have to stay a little bit aware. You know, as we walk, stay in the awareness that everything wonderful is around me, that the energy that I need to walk as far as I need to go already exists in me. The idea of walking would never have occurred if I had not had that thought. And then as you take the walk, become a part of the walk so that you're aware of everything around you, you're aware of your surroundings, and you'll be surprised at things that will show up. New art pieces, new buildings, something that you could share with somebody. You can say, wow, I didn't even know that was there. How many times have I walked past there and not seen it? Because we're taught not to stay in awareness. And the thing that I've learned about using the breath is that every time we do breath with purpose, something shows up to give us a direction, a new thought, a new idea. And I'm not saying that it's perfection, because sometimes it's something that doesn't look good. But even within that, it's good. Because we take that breath and we know that'll never happen again, or I'll walk another way, because that spirit of that breath will tell you next time, go that way. Or when you're speaking to somebody, when you take that breath, say this to them. Before you speak what you thought, let God do the thinking and say it for you. And I think that as we rely more on the inner work and not on the outside of what we're seeing all day, every day, we become a greater and more aware person, and our life begins to take on a little bit more purpose each moment. We have to remember that no matter what is being said, we're the powerful beings that can change it with our one thought. You have the one thought within you, Ayana, or you, Queen Aduni, that you can shift and change this universe, and you're that God in that moment, because you're always God's light shining. That's why I love that song, Use Me, because as we open up and we allow the Spirit to use us, you know, sometimes I get up and there are things that come up that I don't want to do, and Spirit says, breathe, Ruth, because I got you. And that's one of the most important things for me every day, is to remember that the moment it doesn't look right, I can take a breath, and in that breath, I've shifted the whole thing to work for me. That Spirit is saying, I got you, I got you, I got you. It's a shared experience. That's why when you know who you are, you know, wow, I'm not only doing it for me, I'm doing it for the world. I'm not just doing it for my babies, I'm doing it for babies all over the world. I'm not thinking prosperity for me, I'm thinking prosperity for the world. I'm in an unlimited universe. God gave me power over everything. Genesis, first chapter, 24th verse, said, I'm giving you dominion. You, every one of us. We have to remember in this moment who I am. In the Matrix, they kept telling the guy, Morpheus kept telling the guy that he was the one. He forgot that he was. How could he teach that which didn't exist in him? Just get excited about this stuff, girls.
Yeah, I'm chewing on that one.
That was the big chew. Huh?
That was like, whoa, okay, yeah.
Absolutely. So, Miss Sis Evelyn, when you were speaking about the dogs, so here at the Heidelberg, I was walking to the site one day, and there were these 3 dogs that came upon me, and I used to be truly like terrified out of my mind of dogs. I've gotten better. So I was talking to somebody who lives in LA, and I said, oh, dogs, like that. And they said, say peace, 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 as I was walking. So I started, peace, peace. I'm like talking to the dogs, and it's just like, you know, one came really close, like it was touching me, but the other 2, they kind of, he said, and now say, why don't you guys go play? Why don't you guys start playing with each other? So I started mantra, why don't y'all go play with each other? Why don't y'all go walking down the middle of the street? And so they all just kind of went away. And so I really got that, you know, how my perception changed and how I shifted in that moment. Or I was probably gonna have a nervous breakdown in the middle of the street too. I had a choice. And once I decided to stay in that and see peace around these baby doggies, they just went on, you know, their way, even though they were still moving in the same direction. I didn't feel the fear anymore. I felt a peace about being with these dogs. And I guess I've had kind of a conversation with Lillie and Ayana, and they're dog and animal people. So that's always comforting to me, how people look at, you know, we're all part of it. We are one with the dogs, the cats, the ants, the roaches, all of it. So
Not the roaches.
I gotta bring in the roaches. Okay.
I know.
roaches,
I love the roaches. Okay.
The roaches are like ancient beetles. That's how I look at them. I know Peace is like, yeah, we're going back to Egypt town. But roaches are like ancient beetles. You know, have you guys ever seen a roach be born?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, this is the sidebar. So I actually saw a roach bring forth birth, and the babies came out albinos. OMG. Okay, so that was my sidebar story. So erase that from the script. But yeah. But I did see that. And it was like, they were like clear. It's like they weren't melanated yet. And it was like really deep. It was like a little cluster of them. Okay, Peace, what would you like to share? I'll leave it. I'll bubble down.
I don't know how I'm gonna follow the roach story. You got me beat, sis. You got me beat. But I was laughing because Satori, my youngest daughter, she thought that you were calling me to come on screen when you kept saying peace, peace, peace. And your story reminded me of if you saw that movie, The Celestine Prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw that movie and they were out in the woods, and the army soldiers were there to like investigate, and because their vibration was high and they were elevated in thought, they weren't seen. But then one of them, it was a group of them, and one of them, her thoughts started dropping, and she started getting scared. And the next thing you know, they start appearing to the warriors that were looking for them. It was really deep. That's the one that taught me about energy, because they put the fingers together, and he was showing how there's energy between your fingers. So I started doing it, and then I could see the energy between my fingers, and then like rubbing your hands, you can feel the energy. That movie is really good. If y'all haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's really good.
Check it out. Yeah. I want to follow up. I want to say this right quick in agreement with what you're saying. Have you guys seen the recent McDonald's commercial where the people are ordering their food, and there's this group who don't have any money, and all of a sudden he says, no, they're not, and he says they're ordering it with their mind, and so they come into focus and they get their McDonald's. You see, there's subliminals like in the movie that are always shown. So that's why you have to be observant of things that are around you and pay attention, because the universe is all constantly showing us that we have this power, just as she said in the Celestine Prophecy. But we miss it because we're distracted by thinking that there's something we have to do, when everything begins in mind. Everything.
And we have to be careful and conscious too, because like develop our own natural gifts now, because like I was telling y'all yesterday, the powers that be, they want to get in front of the narrative of truth. Always have. They always want to get in the front of the narrative and act like it's their idea and they thought it up. We have to develop our natural gifts, because if McDonald's, which is a major corporation, If they're already putting out those subliminals, then that means that the technology, because I saw a while back a documentary called Transcendence Man. I think I've told y'all about this documentary before. You need to watch it. It's called Transcendence Man. And it was made almost 20 years ago, but it talks about how the evolution of technology. So a lot of the stuff that we're showing now, they talked about 20 years ago in this documentary. And so one of the technologies that the world is moving towards is metaverse. Everybody know about the metaverse already. So that's in your mind, right? That's in your mind. And McDonald's McDonald's has bought major land in the metaverse already. So that's them trying to get in front of the narrative of our own natural gifts already. And then they also are working on a chip. So eventually, because they're running out of resources and they're tapping up all the resources on Mama Earth, so it takes water to make technology, it takes certain materials. Those materials are drying up. So what they're planning to do is use microchips. And the idea is that they implant the chip in your brain, and everything that we're doing physically in our hands right now on a phone or on a computer, you will be able to just pull it up in your mind. You'll just be able to pull it up, go to Google. It's like a little thing of like a hologram of flash in front of you, and there will be the internet. So if your business is ran on the internet, if you are attached to the internet, then you're gonna get the chip because you gotta see the internet. You know, if they stop making phones and they stop making laptops, which is eventually going to happen at some point, then to access that information, you'll have to use the microchip that they're creating, because it's just like a little chip. That's where the whole vaccine is. Like the vaccine was like the introduction of that idea of like people being implanted and just volunteering it, because you have to ask for it. They can't make you do it. So a lot of this stuff, like us developing our natural gifts and our natural talents now, is super important, because the way the world is moving forward, the days are already creating technology to imitate what we naturally can do.
And we saw it in the Black Panther also, when they showed where she could just hold her hand out and visibly see what people were doing. They're allowing you to know that you have that power. She guided the spaceship that they flew on with her energy. And what happens is, as we use this breath that Nawili so graciously started us with, as we learn to breathe, it empowers us so that we realize that we have more and more power. The thing is to keep us numbed out so that we're not aware of it. But the thing for us to do is to keep operating. We are 90% water or more. So 80%. We are fluid. We are fluid. And we have the ability to use these gifts and talents. We just have forgotten, because we've been trained into using and becoming codependent to other instruments. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, I have a question. Based on the song that said "Use Me" that we heard when we began, and I love where it says "Command my hands," because I think everybody on here does hand jive. Hand knows hand energy, does hair. Everybody knows something with their hands. So in this moment, without thinking about it too much, what are your hands commanded to do today? And it could be as simple. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it open. What are your hands commanded to do today?
Paint fabric.
Ashe today. Thank you, Ayana. That's gonna be my new buzzword. Ashe today.
Ashe today. That's me too.
Today.
My hands are working on writing today. I have a lot of writing to do today.
Oh, Ashe today too. Peace.
Ashe.
My hands will be working on folding about 4 dozens of clothes.
Oh, Ashe today. Yes, go Lillie. Me too. Not 4 loads.
I think my hands will be beating today, possibly.
Oh, Ashe today. And for all of you.
And that.
And for all of you who do not know, the reel for Ayana and her beloved family of her baby was done on Monday, and it is feminine energy. We have a girl on the way.
Divine feminine, yes.
Listen, I had to hold my mule when we was at that sister circle because I felt a girl and it was just jumping all over me. But then I was like, I can't say nothing because she got to do her baby reveal. And I want to see what it is too. So, and then I called your mother and was like, what we having? She was like, oh, it was postponed. I was like, dang it. I just knew it was a girl. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Do you have a name for her already?
Not yet. Not quite yet. We're still
It'll
tweaking
come to
it.
you whenever it comes, even after
Yes.
she born. You ain't got no rush to name her.
Absolutely. I got a meter.
Right, exactly. Yep. So take your time.
Well, her name for me is already Sunflower.
Our first baby, our youngest, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Yeah, she is going to be a
Born in the
sunflower.
Elizabeth world.
A sunflower baby.
Yes, she will be a sunflower baby.
Yes.
Empress, are you on, or would like to say what are your hands? Will they be commanded to do today? I see you're on, but I see Empress.
Oh, Empress.
Okay.
Mama has. Oh, there you go.
Who's on the iPhone?
No.
Your secret admirers.
Oh.
Secret admirers.
This Omani Grace.
Okay, well.
Omani.
This Omani.
Omani?
Omani.
Omani.
Yes. Hey.
Yay. I shake today.
I shake today.
So what are your hands commanded to do? How was Jamaica?
Girl, I'm Jamaican now.
Jamaican.
Girl, I'm Jamaican.
All right.
I shake today to that. Girl, we had a butler. We had a butler, a maid, a cook, a driver. The butler was a real butler. That brother was so awesome. We all fell in love with him. He just took care of us like nobody's business.
Oh.
The food was cooked with so much love, and the table was set every meal. She cooked with so much love. We kept going, we're gonna take a picture of the food. And they would put the food down, the food would be gone, and we go, oh man, we didn't take a picture of the food. So it was like she just we just enjoyed all Jamaican cuisine. It was the fruit, just the everything. We went to the Sun Fest on Saturday, which was the wildest thing I've experienced in a long time, and we just had a ball. Girl, I have to send y'all a picture. We rode horses into the water, and then you had to get off the horse, and the horse starts swimming on his own. And then you get off the horse, grab his tail, and the horse will pull you back into the shore. Oh my God. Okay, so listen, I had to get my horse left me, and I had to get walked back into the shore.
He didn't leave you. He just gave you an opportunity.
I got off of him. He was like, I'm supposed to be heading to shore. I don't know what you're doing back there, but we're supposed to be heading to shore. He kept going. But wait, the first horse I on, he was bad. I was like, what is this horse's name? They was like, Cutter. Everybody with me, they start laughing because they know I will cut you with my words. They was like, Cutter. And then guess what? He kept trying to bite people. He had to separate Cutter. He was trying to bite people. I was like, oh my God.
Funny.
So yeah, it was just girls. We went to this one retreat in the grill called Hedonism.
Stay out there.
Oh my God, that was so over the top. And the divas I was with, you had the clothes optional beach and you had the naked beach. The girls
No.
I was with, they was pulling off their clothes heading to the naked beach. I was like, what is y'all?
Uh-huh.
Girl, those girls were so ready to be. Okay, so my friend's like, oh, Monty, you gonna take the plunge? I'm like, yeah, I'll take the plunge. So we heading the first time. This is a nude beach. Clothes are no clothes necessary, right? And they tell you all, okay, fine. Then we keep walking, and there's another little warning and a place for you to get yourself together to get naked. My friend is like, are you okay, Omar? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing good. And then we get to the next sign, and it says stop. I'm like, okay, this say stop right there. You see these two chairs over here? I'm gonna go talk to God while y'all go get naked. Y'all come back. Girl, girl, I was like, no. Okay, so I'm with the divas. It's a group it's the diva group where we get in touch with our yoni, our divaness. So this is the group I went with. And so we did a mud exercise where we all went to the beach in our cover-ups, got naked and covered each other with mud, held hands with each other, and walked into the water as an initiation of cleansing all our past. It was so super powerful. But one of the ladies, she was leaving early, so we did hers in the bathroom. And so as we were washing her off, our facilitator said, anybody else want to support her? And before I knew it, I had jumped in the shower. And while this is like the day after we had come from the other retreat, I had jumped in the shower and my spirit said, you naked.
Reverend Omani, can you come on camera, dear?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm looking crazy because I'm just jumping on, but yeah. Hold on, let me find it. That should do it.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So wait a minute. So I jump in the shower. I'm helping the sister wash the mud off, and we're praying over her. And then my spirit said, "You naked in front of everybody." I was like, I got out the shower. I went, "Woohoo! I'm naked." I couldn't do it at the beach, but I got myself to naked, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just a super trip.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
And I love that you share that because I've heard Reverend Ruth say, girls, get in touch with yourself every morning. Get in front of that mirror naked and say, oh, girl, you every curl, every wrinkle, every dip, you are gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what we get. No matter what size, no matter what color, no matter how our hair is, that we are one, we are sisters, and we don't honor that. And I would really love for her name is Claudette Faison. She's in New York. I would love for her to come on and talk because my life has got turned around just her talking about pleasure, not sex, but how do I pleasure myself?
Yeah.
And how do I give myself pleasure in life? So that's been the big things. It's pleasure. And so my life just opened up when who I am now is, if it's not giving me pleasure, I'm not doing it.
That's right.
Today.
Yeah.
Today.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would love for Claudette to come, and I would love for you guys to do her course. Is so sexy, is so in touch, is so, she teach you everything about your yoni.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh my God. And it's so much fun, and it's enlightening, and it's just a powerful course. Yeah.
Wow. Can we get her information from you?
Yes. Yes.
I'll
give it, I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's
and so what my hands are up to today is completing, having my physical space be impeccable.
I share today. I share.
Yeah.
Dooney, did you share, or you want to share?
My hands are about fixing my the Facebook is all crazy and stuff. So, and just updating computer stuff. That's what I have to do today. And that's it.
Today.
And cooking or preparing some good nourishing food for my body today.
A shade today.
Mm-hmm. And drinking more water.
Yes. Anybody? Let me see who else. Mama Het, you want to share, or Empress? And Alita, any of y'all want to share, chime in?
What's the question?
What is your hands commanded to do today?
Well, first of all, good morning, Grand Rising.
Great day, great day.
Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Well, my hands have to work on my room, get my room back in order, and love on myself today. Love myself. I've been in and out, y'all. I'm on and I've been dozing because I didn't go to. I got up early and I didn't go to bed till late. I don't know what it was. I'm a little bewildered right now, but I'm here.
I just want to say, but you're here.
And we love and appreciate you however you show up, just to feel your energy and see your face and see that you are relaxing and taking care of that part too.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just wanted to share. I heard Reverend Omani talk about her sister trip and experience, and I wrote a lesson for the Yoni study as well. My sister did the, what was it called? Oh my goodness. It was called, what was the Ruth Ensler? She did oh my goodness, I can't think of it right now.
Oh, the vagina.
Yes, the vagina monologue.
Yeah.
My sister was the little coochie snorcher in the vagina monologue, so I have the play. And then using that, I did an interview for sisters. I put that together in my lesson plan, and also talking and having women draw themselves and label their yoni, reproductive area, and also some jade egg exercises and some other exercises that I put together. And I've never shared it. I've only shared it with maybe 2 or 3 sisters, but I've never done the exercise that I put together. So it's already. I've just been waiting to be birthed. So yeah.
Well, we are the birthers here.
Yeah,
yes.
I shared
we are your pilot program, dear. All you got to do is put a date to it and let's do it.
Okay. And I'd love to talk with sister. What's the sister's name, Mama?
Omani. Oh.
Claudette.
Claudette.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I really like to do that because my thing was how I wanted to do it was make a poll and have wraps section off like pizza slices or pie slices where people would do their exercise privately, yet we were still in the same room. I was like, wow, we're on Zoom, so this is a good place to do it too because people can be in their privacy, and do the discovery part. So yeah, I'm waiting. I think I'm ready.
You're ready. You ready?
You's ready.
You ready?
I love
Everybody agree. She ready.
Yeah, we just need to be okay with being okay with being ourselves. Sister Asia Hamilton of Detroit, she put together what was it called? Her show, it wasn't a show, it was an art exhibit, and it was called the Naked or Nude Show, and I participated 2 years, 2012 and 2013. And I called my mother, I called both my moms and my dad, and I was like, Haru's mom, my dad, and my mother. And I said, listen, I'm in the Hustler magazine, but I wasn't posing like the ladies pose in the Hustler magazine. But they did an interview. The woman who became the editor, the first black editor of the Hustler magazine, caught wind of Asia's show, and she interviewed her, and our pictures are in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ashe today.
There it
That's
is. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let someone else share, and
All right.
love y'all, and thanks for listening.
We love you.
thank you.
I'm gonna say, what are my hands commanded to do today? Carry my luggage through the airport and give them my boarding pass, show my boarding pass, and do commanded to take off whatever I need to go through security for TSA. Yeah, that's what my hands are. Oh, and this is my last day with my youth at the camp. So I think we're going to do some rapping today or something creative with our hands. My yoga class is morphed into, with the youth, we did kindness rocks. Every day every session we do an affirmative word. Trying to give them a tool bag with some little goodies in that they can reflect on when they go away from camp. Because tomorrow's actually the last day. So, and they sew their hands sew to the peace poem that we do really to bubble down before we start class and after class. So I actually have them use their mouths and speak the words, but I also have them do it in the silence, and it's so powerful. So that's what I'm doing today. Yes. Okay, anybody else? Empress, did you wanna, I know you usually chime in through the chat or something, but if you want to speak, feel free. And if there's any comments or questions y'all like to ask of Reverend Ruth, I guess what I want to ask is, where is what's going on with the red tent?
The red tent, actually, at the end of August, I'm going to a conference in Kansas City, but at the end of August, I will be hosting the spiritual nature of hustle and flow. And that's my take on the spiritual nature of that movie, because it was extremely spiritual and from beginning to end. And the way that I knew that Spirit, excuse me, wanted us to watch it again is they gave it an Oscar, which brought up a question of why did they give it? But if you watch the movie with intention, you see that God was working all through the movie. So I'll be doing it the end of April, I think, at the Lulu Washington Dance Studio, and hopefully I will be able to have it set up so you can watch it on Zoom if you'd like. I'll give you the date and the time when I come back after the 13th of August. The red tent.
Explain what the red tent is, Reverend. Some people weren't here the first time you came. Mm-hmm. Explain what the red tent is.
Okay, so over 30 years ago, I read a book called The Red Tent, and it talked about the only daughter of Jacob and how the women gathered in the red tent so that they could learn all the principles and ideas and feminine nature of being women. And so I created the red tent so that women could gather and we could have conversations like we are this morning, where we could talk about our body, about our feelings, about our families, about our prosperity growth, anything that would assist us in creating a greater universe as females. The divine feminine energy is extremely needed right now on the planet, because the masculine energy, as we can see, has a warlike nature and is trying to create some unpeaceful things right now. So it's important that we come together as women and we talk about the power that exists within us, that we share it with the younger ladies. And it is designed specifically for women. And we do exercises like a wasu, which is similar to what Reverend Armani was talking about, where we go into the water and we learn how to support each other by holding the weight of each woman. And just these things becoming identifiable with your body, knowing how wonderful and powerfully you're made. And all of this came just from reading that book and realizing that we don't gather, that women don't gather. We talk about these Atlantic Housewives and all these people where they show women abusive and talking to each other a certain way, but they do not show the divine and how we can come together in respect, not always having to agree on everything, but knowing that everybody stands in their truth. So the red tent was based on that. Up until the pandemic, every year I tried to give a red tent event. We had a thing right now where I call Beauty Shop Chat, where I invite women into the hair salon, because at one point the hair salon was the red tent. It was a place where women came and they gathered. Now women have, we do everything at home. We don't touch each other. We're afraid to look at each other, and we're afraid to compliment each other. So these are the things that we practice under the red tent. I will be giving a red tent event before the end of the year, and possibly have it on Zoom for those of you who can't come here to join us. And it's a work in progress, because one of the things that I've learned is since the pandemic, women have become very separate. We're not talking to each other as much as we could. We're afraid to gather in hair salons or any place where, women can come together. So my goal is to pull that back together and have us remember the mother, sister, female energy that exists in each one of us that creates what this universe is. We birth everything on the planet. We birth everything, even the thoughts that the men think. So it's important that we remember this power and that we pull it together, so that as we're talking to our sons, to our husbands, to any of the men that we interact, we use this divine feminine in the correct way, in a purposeful way, so that we can say something that can create a shift and allow them to know we respect them as men, we love them, we know that they're providers, but we also know that we create balance through the idea of women birthing. So it's important that we remember who we are. And to me, we've forgotten just a little bit. You women are such an inspiration, because as I listen to you, I realize that you're aware. And we have to have more women become aware of the power that exists in us. They call it Mother Earth because it births. They call us mothers because we birth. And the red tent is extremely important. So that's it for me.
Yeah, thanks.
Dang.
That was a movie.
I have nine granddaughters that I'm influencing, so it's important that I stand in what I say.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Miss Ruth. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah. And that being said, I would love for one of these days that somebody takes on the mother, the importance of what Reverend Ruth just talked about, our influence on our grandchildren. We know when you're raising your daughter, they're right there in the house. But what happens sometimes when they move out and they have their lives and stuff, those babies, sometimes some families, they don't, you're not around your grandchildren. And especially if you have the son, because the mother is always around her mother. But sometimes you don't. If like my son, I don't see the grandchildren's as much, because the mama is always got the children with her, right? Especially when they're babies. But I had to, tell them, I need to be an influence. I need to influence. I need them, to be able to pass what I know down to them. Because what we pass to our children, we didn't know as much as we know now, right? And so,
right?
Yeah, to have that conversation. Yeah.
Because every morning you should, I think about some of the things I do is I send out affirmations to my family members.
Okay.
And sometimes if I forget to do it, they'll be like, I didn't get my power word for the day. Sometimes I just bought a book that's been out for over 20 years called Peaks and Valleys. And it's by the guy who wrote Who Moved My Cheese. And I'm giving that book. I'm giving that book to I buy enough copies to give to everybody in the family, so that when they come by, we have something to talk about. And I'll tell them I read this new book called Peaks and Valleys. Think about when your peaks are, when are your valleys. So, without interacting with them on a physical basis, there are just little things that, we can do on a weekly, daily, or however often you want to do it to create that communication. It's important that we remember that, no, we're not going to see them. My granddaughters, some of them I haven't seen in a year, but I still will text them sometimes and send them an affirmation. Or sometimes I'll say, okay, so what's going on in your life? And that opens the door for us to have a conversation. We have to remember just small things count. So even if it's my sons, I'll call them and I'll give them an affirmation. I'll say, what's your affirmation for today? So that they can send one back to me. We have to create a line of communication. That means that maybe I don't see you every day. I don't care if I don't see you for 10 years. I'm going to send you something. I'm going to communicate. And it's important that we just do it. You don't have to have a reason. Just start doing it. So they'll say, wow, look what my grandmother sent me, or look what my mom sent me. Or, just those types of communication. We have to remember that we have every tool available. Which one do we want to use today? Yeah. And you have everything you need, every single thing that you need to be the divine feminine mother, woman for yourself, for your husband, your male friend, whoever. You have everything, your package, complete. So sometimes we have to, when we get up and we get naked in the mirror, we look at ourselves, we say, wow, what's this gift want to be today? And who do I want to share it with? And you start by looking in the mirror, complimenting yourself, saying how wonderful you are, because you can't tell somebody if you don't recognize it in yourself. If you can't see it, you can't make somebody else believe it. So every day it's important. And I had to learn that. I have self-talk. I get naked sometime during the day when it's not a good day. I'll get naked and say, girl, look at you. Who are you? So we have to constantly remember to work with ourselves first. And if I want a card, then I should send a card. If I read a book and it's good, then I should share it. I would suggest that you watch the movie Never End This Story, because this little boy flies through the world and he expresses every type of energy. In the Matrix, if you haven't watched it, watch it again, because there's a lot of information about how to pull forth your power. If we watch even some of the newer movies like Hustle and Flow, very spiritual. Why do I say this? I got a minute or two, because in the beginning of that movie, if you watch it, he's sitting in a car with the girl who's working for him. And they're waiting for a trick to come by. And he looks at her and he says, what do you want to do? And she says, what? He said, because this is not who I am. And it is not what I want to do. And that is God awakening him to a new thought and a new idea of his greatness. So sometimes in the morning, I get up and I'll say, this is not who I am. And what do I want to do today? You see, we got to go deep, because God sends us subliminal messages through songs, through movies, through books, and we have to be alert. We can't ban something that we haven't seen. When I told people I was going to teach from the spiritual nature of Hustle and Flow, 90% of them said, I never watched that movie. That was about pimps and bad rap. And I said, not true. But you got to open your mind, because see, God's going to send it every way you need it until you get it.
Yep.
Every way you need it. And that's it. When I do the red tent, this is what I tell them. There are no boundaries, because when you take something and put it behind a fence and don't open that fence and go through so that you can see what God has for you, then you're missing out. And it took me a lot of years to learn this, but now every time I do, I swing the door open. Bruno Mars said, I'm gonna leave the door open. So leave the door open so that love or whatever it is that you want can walk through. But if you can't do that for yourself, then you're wasting your time. You're just talking hot air. I can't tell you something that I don't practice every day. No, I'm not perfect. But every day when I get up, when I get done with y'all, Ruth is naked in the mirror now because I got quite a day in front of me. So I got to prepare my body, mind, and spirit so that when I walk out that door, I'm carrying God energy with me all day long. So I appreciate you listening to me this morning. If you get a chance, watch that movie again, but watch it with your third eye and open up your third ear so you can really hear what God is saying in that movie, because that's the only way he could get to those kids in the hood. He had to give up some hood to get some hood, to get some understanding. And if we could not—
I'm glad you mentioned the never-ending story, because I always try to describe it and I could never remember the name. But it's a 3D animated child's story, but it has a message for all. I know it. Yes, they're running from the darkness.
Yeah, because you understand that the church is not in a building. We live in the church. We are
church is right here.
So every time we open up, we're turning a new page. We're opening up to something wonderful that God has for us today. Not yesterday, not history, but today. And we recreate and we rebirth. That's why we're ageless and timeless. If nobody had given you a date, you wouldn't know how old you are. You wouldn't live in age, you live in life.
That's it. That's it.
So we got to get over all these illusional things that have been presented to us, and we've got to get into the meta universe and realize all power, all things belong to us.
That's it.
And that's why I work on every day. I mean, I don't look like I'm that chick because I don't have my my afro and stuff, but underneath I do because I'm an African woman. But at the end of the day, I can be a fluffy blonde. I could be anything I want because I know I'm God. So I don't care what people think. I don't care if you look at me and say, why she look like that? I look like God today. How about you? What are you looking at when you see you?
That's it.
That's all I can, you know? See, I don't like to get started because now we really tell you I can talk about some God stuff because God has done so much in my life.
Yeah.
I was when I was sick and they took me to the hospital, they gave me a minute to live. But God told me not today. And here I am. You see, but I knew when I heard it, it was the truth about me because I am that God is. So we got to come into realization of who we truly are. Not be afraid to speak our word and say what we got to say. And sometimes you use tools like hustle and flow. Or you get naked in Jamaica and you walk on the nude beach. You go to places that you haven't been before. Go into the fire so you know what the fire feels like because it'll cool when you walk through it. We have the opportunity to change this world. And we got to take advantage of it while we can. Because when I walk into my new universe, I'm going to take some of this with me. So you guys have a beautiful day. I get excited, so I just have to cool off.
Today.
That's all right. That's life. That's the power that you possess. Yes.
That's that electricity. Keep it going.
Yes, I say.
Girl, don't cool it off. Don't cool it off. Heat it up.
Yeah, last night, my grandson, who's 17, he is going down to Alabama. He's a sports junkie. You know, he really is good, and he's a leader in it. And so my son is taking him down there. So last night around 10 something, I called him just to, tell him that, I love him. I'm so proud of him. And all of that, just encouraging him and stuff, and of course I told him that, you get all this stuff from me,
Of course.
You definitely get your leadership from me. Your mom's good and your dad is good, but know that it's grandma, okay? and just be, naked in front of you. I have thought of that and thought of that and thought of that, but then the action of that was lacking. And so what will my hands do today? I will text my grandchildren, the older ones, the others are babies, but yes, I shall do that I've been wanting to do. And now you've put the fire behind it, the wind behind it, the okay, no matter what behind it. So thank you, Reverend.
Yeah, I just text my grandson. There's several books that I'm going to be reading now.
Yeah.
And the Red Tent will be one of them. I remember seeing a movie, The Red Tent. And so, but yeah, I want the book now. And that's a pair of earrings. I look like God today.
There you go. There you go.
I look like God today.
Oh, I love it. I say today. Go, girl. Yes. Yes. Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Wow. Okay. So what were my other questions? Anybody? Okay. So Reverend Bruce, we love that you be on fire. It, ain't nothing but that's what we're here to do. And that's how we really shine our light and express ourselves. So important to do it in the feminine, because I remember like my grandmother, we called her Big Mama. She's very solemn, very, just well put together, very in place, until she got on my head and was combing it and watching the boxing matches on TV. And all of a sudden this other shit person would come in, like, I wasn't holding my head. And then the guys who were boxing, all of a sudden she was expressing another part that didn't look so, just in the box and perfect. I mean, she was like almost, without using curse words, cursing at the TV. But I got so excited seeing that part of her every time she did my hair. Somehow we always ended in front of the boob tube, watching boxing in the South in the 50s in the 50s, yeah. And so that energy you just showed just reminded me of Big Mama energy, when she was like watching the boxing match, and it would all flow. It wasn't restricted. And yeah, I thank you, Big Mama. I hope I got some of that too. I know I do.
Yeah, you don't have to be prissy with us.
Oh no, but I like to.
No, I'm talking to Reverend Ruth. You don't have to be prissy. Bring it on.
Oh no. Now we will tell you, I am not prissy.
Yeah, I'm just saying, where, because when I hit a chord there, and you came right on in. Yeah.
I can walk in like my godmother was a real fancy lady. She wore like gloves with lace and all this kind of stuff. So I think I picked up a little bit of it. And sometimes I can walk in fancy and people misjudge who I am. And because we tend to look with our eyes and not with our heart.
Yeah.
And so they would see what they thought they saw. But I tell them, I say, now, I don't write no notes and I don't read out a book. I just let God use me. So whatever you hear today, that's what you're going to get. And once I open up, then they realize I'm just a human being living a human experience, being a divine feminine woman on every day.
Come on.
Shade to that.
Come on.
That's it. And you know what? And you know what? No matter what you look like, no matter what people think they see, you have to be the one who sees it. You have to be the one to know, because they only see and know about you what you give them. So every day and every way, I decide that I'm going to give them God. Sometimes I shock them in the way I do it, because I might have a wig on today and be bald-headed tomorrow. Because it depends on how I feel when I wake up in the morning. But guess what? It's all good. It's all God. And I just love sharing with you guys. This is so exciting for me. Thank you so much. Waking up, giving me a great morning. I can go out and let my light shine even brighter.
Yeah.
I appreciate you so much.
Reverend Ruth, I just got to say that's what my name Omani means. Everything good, everything God.
I say. Oh, I love it. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So befitting. Yes.
And I might say one more thing. If you could see what I see as I look at you, you are the light of the universe. So much light and beauty coming off of this screen is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you so much.
Hey, y'all, I got a tan. Oh, I forgot where I was.
Got a tan. I love it.
I forgot where I was for a minute. Excuse me.
I want to see your tan lines. Where they at?
The whole face is a tan line.
Okay. She said, I want to see those tan lines, huh?
You got shoulder straps, and you even. I
girl,
like an Oreo.
Didn't I tell you we was naked most of the time?
I know, that's why I was saying. I was teasing. I was laughing because I look like an Oreo cookie. My middle is so light skinned, and I'm chocolate skin. It don't even look right. I gotta get my thighs. My thighs is creamy like coffee. I'm like, I got to get the rest of this thing together because I'm striped.
This brown skin girl, I thought I was made from leftover parts. I said, dang, the head is dark, the body's one shade, the legs another shade. Dang, he done went in the pile and got the leftover parts.
You know, get my middle together. I don't feel right.
Hey, I wouldn't mind basking in the sun, shoot, in the nude.
Listen, I can't stand clothes.
That's
Okay?
Yeah.
So,
You
Mama
know,
Hawa,
we stayed in a villa. It was okay. So this is the part y'all got to get about this though. We stayed on a place. It's called Half Moon. It was a plantation. Deep. It's deep. So I was cool the first 2 days, but once they told me it was a plantation, then I started listening to the walls.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
I started really feeling the energy. Like the people who work there, you can't bring your car on the plantation. You have to walk in. It was sort of like The Help, you know, how they would walk in and the help. It was like that. I was like, this thing is deep. And then I found out like the guy, our butler, he gave us the history of Jamaica and the Maroons, led by a woman, Nanny Maroon. Look her up.
Mama Nanny.
Yes, my Nanny Maroon. And oh my God, I got chills all over. She was the leader of this group. They were for Africa. And they talked about how the Haitians, I said, that's why they don't want Haitians and Jamaicans in America, because they were the warriors.
Yes.
They were the warriors. So I'm like, oh, they don't want them here. And
that woman was the Harriet Tubman.
Yes, she was. Right. And so if on the plantations, if they were treating the slaves wrong, the Maroons would go and burn the plantation down.
Yes.
Amen.
So the whole thing is deep. And, you know, just to really get, Jamaica didn't get free from the British until 1962. So they're still babies. But they got that place under their thumb. I spent $75 somewhere. I'm like, listen, I got this Jamaican money. How much would that be Jamaican? Because I want to give this money back, you know, not take it back home with me. And I spent $75, but in Jamaican money, it was $10,056.
Yeah.
What? You need 10,000 of my Jamaican dollars for 75. So that's how come Jamaicans have 50 jobs. You gotta have 50 jobs to pay the rent, to do anything. It's expensive. Wow. And so I came home definitely with a different appreciation of America. Like we got it going on and we act like we ain't got it going on.
Right.
And we got it going on. And so I'm gonna have not only my hands, but my whole body be the demonstration of we got it going on.
We got it going on.
Yeah.
That's like some of my African friends that come over and they see my home, which I think is not all that, but they say, oh, you are wealthy. You are rich. You know, it's the small things that we don't appreciate, you know, we take for granted.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. That's for real.
Wow.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Reverend Omani, we have to do that exercise that we do in the leadership IL program at Landmark, where we all have to get in front of, we all come together and we get in mirrors all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get naked in front, but we can do the whole naked thing and just stand there all together. You know, we can do that as Elizabeth to get some breakthroughs in that area.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit today.
Yeah.
I mean,
right. Yeah. It was, we did one exercise because we have just different levels to the Diva event. And we did one exercise where we all stood in the mirror and we looked at that part of the, you know, we all got a part of the body. We go, and we had to look at that aspect of our body and really start to bring love to it.
Yeah.
To that part of the body that we couldn't be with. And I swear, I started going, how come in this exercise, I like my thighs, but when I'm on my own, I'll be like, okay, we got to do something about these thighs. Right. But in the context of where we were looking from, I just fell in love with my whole body all over again. I'm like, oh, this is a good body. The great body. Look at this girl. Yeah. So
all parts working.
And so, so the whole thing is really getting in touch with your divine feminine, you know, and it's like when she said she was prissy, I'm like, to me, nothing wrong with being prissy, because we done got so far away from being a girl that
That's right. That's right. I wear my dresses and skirts. I love them.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like bringing that aspect back in, like we were talking earlier, the way I think got this whole new piece about the feminine energy and the male energy. The man is the seed and the woman is the soil. And you go,
That's
okay,
right.
but it's right. And the seed is one pointed. Its whole job, if it's an apple seed, its whole job is focused on, I got to get to be a tree. That's all the apple tree. Whatever, whatever seed it is, that's how a man is. They're one focus, where a woman is multi-focused. And we want to look at the man and go, what's wrong with you? You only can do one thing at a time. What's your problem? Right? But as the nurturer, what do? We're supposed to water it, give it air, give it sunshine, give it nutrients.
Remind it who it is.
Exactly.
That's right. Encourage
Power
it.
it in who it is. Because guess what our job is? Our job with the men in our life is to bring forth the divine Father that's in them.
That's right.
I was like, what? Oh, shoot, wait a minute. I've been going at this thing the wrong way. Oh, Lord. Right? Because what? Yeah.
Do you want to jump in?
Who?
Unmute yourself.
I wanted to make sure Mama Amani was finished first.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
Hold on a second. So as you all were talking, I was remembering when I was little, when I was young, and I was beginning to get my pubic hair, and I was like, "Ma, this thing is ugly." And she said, "You ought to see it without the hair." She it was so funny when I was transitioning. And also, I remember another time when I was older, I guess I was about 30 something. And I had told my mom, we were doing the cancer walk at the Detroit Zoo. And I was like, yeah, you know that dark part in there just below your yoni and everything? I said, that stuff is all jiggly. My cousin yelled out, girl, that's the good stuff. And when when Isis was with Tanae in her Camp Fabulous one year, every picture she drew a cat right at the yoni on all, if they did some fashion thing. I was like, you know what, I think Isis then discovered herself, because I mean, it was a cat at every yoni part on every picture she drew. Something had some energy there. So I talked to her and I was like, so Isis, I said, are you, you touching yourself and everything? She was like, yeah. I said, it feel good, don't it? I said, well, keep doing that. Because I want her to know her body. I'd rather her know her body herself than have somebody come and touch her and send her to the moon and she's like, where she can't function. Because that can happen, So, but I really thought that was an important thing. I said I was going to be in trouble as a mother because my baby is going to know I'm not going to hold nothing back from her as far as her body is, and just to make sure that she's aware. And I know whenever the children, kids will talk when they're in schools. I worked at schools for 24 years. And if they ever let me, so if they ever let me hear their conversations, then that means it's going to be lesson time. So I would tell them, I said, you know what? I said, you all just out here just doing stuff. I said, your first moment should be very pleasurable and very loving and very sensual. I said, you should make sure you got your setup together where you're not disturbed, and it should be a very beautiful moment. But I tell the boys, I said, boys and girls, I said, you need to go to the library and learn about your body. And when you get done, learn about the other folks' body. So you'll have at least some something to learn about, to understand the body and how it works. Because Haru has this one picture where the phallus and the yoni are both labeled about the body parts, the pancreas, the liver, the what else? Kidneys. you know, our major organs have sensory areas in the inside the yoni and on the phallus, and it's like a puzzle piece to put together because then they match up when you put them together. And the organs are healed by having relations.
But when you're talking about also, you think about a rape victim who will never have the opportunity to understand their body. And that's why so many girls become promiscuous and everything, because they don't even relate to the body. They don't even understand it. So that's why it's important that, like, this is a red tent conversation right here, because we talk about if you've been a rape victim, if you've been abused in any type of way, then a lot of rape victims don't even look at their body. They don't even touch it. They don't either, they just use it because they don't have the opportunity to get a conversation from someone like you. So it's important, like the red tent, it doesn't just mean that we get together. It's like if you go to a juvenile facility and you ask them if you can work with a group of girls, or if you go out into the project community and you say, I want to have a workshop for the women. And you introduce them to new thoughts and new ideas so that they learn new respect for their body. They learn how valuable it is, how wonderfully it's made. And it's important because when we talk about diabetes, we talk about cancer of the uterus, all of those things come from those unfamiliar touches and the things that have happened that develop a history of illness within the body. So all of this is what you're talking about is so important. And this is what the red tent talks about. And sometimes people aren't ready for that because women of all ages have been taught, like she talked about the one who dresses and pulls her skirt below her knees. Well, she's probably very uptight about her body, because we're not taught to be okay with us. That's why the nakedness and all of this stuff is really important. And that's why when we have these sessions, and my friend said, well, why don't you invite the men? I said, girl, you can't tell a man nothing till you know yourself, because your advice might not be the best because you don't know who you are. So let's take time to get to know, as females, as a divine, who are we? Why did God give Adam Eve? Because the divine was very necessary. We have to know how important we are. I appreciate what you said so much. It's just so valuable.
Yeah.
So valuable.
And the other thing is that what else did I want to say? How it is important. Now my family, my mother would run around in the buff. We were home. It was me, my mom, my dad. But once my brother and I got a little older, my dad would still keep his underwear. But we were, we didn't do a whole lot of clothes, especially when it was really hot. My father would have his pants or underwear on, but and we don't have any trauma in the family, so. But that's how I grew up. My mother would get in the shower and run to her room, and my mother, my sister, and my niece, we would, we'd come in the room and do this to each other, all of our little fun stuff, tapping each other on the fanny, when you're running through. So I had a very positive aspect, but so many people dwell on the negativities and the challenges of sexual intercourse or sexual exploration or whatever, but there is a healthy and a positive side to it as well. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about is that the organs, when they're touched and excited, they don't know the difference between if it's positive or negative. And I think that's some of where they feel bad about it, because the body feels good for touch, and it doesn't know the difference between a gentle or somebody that wasn't, or evasive, if you will, an invasive touch. So I think that's a part of some of, I don't know, it's a lot.
Can I just jump in right here? The thing that had me get involved with the Diva event is that in my circle I had like Mama Hetaru, I didn't experience sexual trauma. I had a very protective mother that made sure I didn't sit in men's lap. They couldn't give me money. It was the whole thing. But because I had so many women in my circle who had sexual trauma, I could have compassion for them, but I didn't have that experience. So when I met Claudette and, we started talking about healing the sexual trauma that women have experienced, that's why we started doing the Diva event, to heal the sexual trauma.
That's right.
Right. And, we've talked about it's just, you got, we make touch bad. Right. We make it bad because, like Mama Hetaru said, it feels good. So but it feels good, but something tells you that it's bad, so you make it bad, and it turns into another whole animal. And so once you get that straight, it's like, it's not like somebody molested you, because that's like bad, but you got sexually awakened early.
Yeah.
Because when you get touched, you like it, but then you feel guilty that you like it. And then you carry that programming on. And so it's like, even in doing a diva event, I had to deal with my programming. I get naked, but I don't get naked in front of everybody. I'm a Tina Turner. I'm a private dancer. Right.
Okay.
And so I had to deal with that. Okay, now we're going to the beach naked in front of everybody? I don't know about that one yet. Give me a couple of days. So I didn't get naked the first day, but the second day I was like, hey, I'm naked. I broke through. Right. And having that experience that I could be okay wherever I was and however I was expressing myself where it's safe. So that's the piece I wanted to share. I'm complete. Thank you.
It's so funny, as a dancer, sometimes we don't always have a changing room. So I'll just, I've become a very talented clothes changer. I could change in front of you. You won't see a bit of thing. But it's so funny because when we change in bathrooms, which is the room in restrooms where women are in the restroom, if they see us changing in the front area, they go, oh my God, and shut the door and freak out. I'm like, what's the problem? They will come in, see us changing, and it's almost like they feel like they've walked into our bedroom. But I'm like, it's the ladies' room. I'm like, what are people freaking out about? I'm like, what? Go ahead, Mama Ruth.
We've been taught that.
Yes.
We've been taught. First thing they tell a girl growing up is close your legs.
Yeah.
The first thing we do in a diva event is open your legs and drop down into your yoni. What?
Like Carol Burnett, baby. Like Carol Burnett. I love the way she said.
Oh, that cracks me up because I can do it so easily. I just say, drop down. My yoni say, what are we about to do?
Ain't today.
We're going to have Yoni Day. That's what we're going to have. Yoni Day.
International Yoni Day.
Yeah.
Yes. The first time I remember I went to a Korean bathhouse here. And so I had never been to one, right? And so my girlfriend goes, well, you ready for this? And I said, well, she says, well, you got to get completely naked. And I don't mind getting naked, but then, I had never been in with the Asian women who are very slim and flat. I have all this great curvaceous stuff on my body. And then finally I went in there and I did the Ruth Lemon. And I said, girl, you look good. And I swung it on out there and they were looking. I said, don't be a hater. I had to realize everything about me was good, and I carried 5 babies in this beautiful pouch.
Come on
so
now.
I deserve to have this belly. You know what I'm saying? So I was excited about it. I let them take a good look and I kept on strutting through there. So anyway, we have to learn to enjoy. Enjoy the moment.
We went, one of the sisters here would take us to King's Spa. She would tell me, she would say, hey, don't tell nobody about the naked part. That's the part I want them to be surprised when they go. And I get that because sometimes if you tell them you're going to be nude, they won't go. But she took us to the King's Spa. Oh my God. I was like, whoa, that place was wonderful.
Love it. Love it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have all these rooms, that different crystal rooms and different temperatures. But the bathhouse, that part was beautiful. They had a very hot bath.
The scrub and
very
the hot oil. Oh my God.
Come on now. I need to get the crab. Get in them crabs.
Yeah, hit it off.
Don't forget my card reader. I got a couple card readers. Give my card reader.
Yeah.
I just want to share this one other thing that I've learned, and that is that the yoni is the original pendulum. You use your yoni and you use your pendulum. Is this good? Is this a yes or is a no? But now that I'm totally in touch, I can be talking and my yoni, if it's something good, my yoni will start to just go and go and go. And I'm like, okay. Or even when I'm trying to, should I get this? My yoni be like, yes, get this. No response. Okay, no. I'm actually using my yoni for the choices. Is this a good choice? Yoni will be like, yeah. And something like in some things, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Some things I'll be talking about and I'll be like, girl, you about to come? We're having a conversation. What we're doing. So it's like when you get in touch that way, it's just like right there giving you the answers because it's the point of creation.
Your bestest friend. You better
It's the
believe it.
point of creation. I go,
Yes. Yeah.
OMG, it's so powerful. I so love it.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Boy, this never ending story goes on.
This never ending story is never ending. And so I'm just giving thanks that we had the opportunity to share today and just leave it right here and enjoy it and feel safe with each other and trust each other in this place where Elizabeths love up on each other and love their yonis. Yeah. And so I'm like to end with a prayer out. We'll do the peace poem and we'll do peace and we'll do love. So if y'all want to unmute or it's up to you. So we're going to bring our palms at our heart center and just close your eyes and just embrace this moment, this eternal, never ending story. Let's inhale and let's begin. Peace before me, peace behind me, peace to my left, peace to my right, peace above me, peace below me, peace unto me, peace to all, peace to the universe. And we're just going to do love also. Love is crossing across our chest and love before me, love behind me, love to my left, love to my right, love above me, love below me, love unto me, love to all, love to the universe. And bringing our palms together. And let's just use that energy and give ourselves a big hug. Much love, much love. And sending it out to the world. Yes. And sending especially out to Reverend Ruth and just her graciousness and beauty and wisdom, sharing it with us this morning. Satnam.
Here's to the Yoni.
Thank you so much, ladies. Beautiful morning.
Namaste.
Enjoy your day.
Okay.
Get
Love
naked.
y'all.
Get
All
naked.
right. All right. I'll see y'all from Cali in the morning.
All right.
So tomorrow,
Bring
ladies,
some paint too.
your ladies, tomorrow we have Edwana, her last name White, and she's coming. Her living room is filled with bowls. And I shared with you yesterday that she uses it with the children in her classroom and in the school, and they do not bother her because those children just calm down and get focused. So come tomorrow.
Yes.
If you rise up early, Reverend, come on and join us.
Wake
She
up
is
early.
amazing. And I told her all of you, most of y'all are into that. You actually do it. So she's looking forward to it.
All right. We got a date in the morning. We got a date.
Y'all.
Okay.
Get all her exercise.